Hi guys. So, you know what's really amazing to me is the fact that yesterday, after I chose to do that reading, um, the I went to look up the next full moon, um, which is in Leo season, but it's in Aquarius, and that'll be on August 3rd. And I wanted to clarify that because that came up in the last reading. But while I was looking that up, I noticed that there's a new moon that's on July 20th, which is really soon. And I kind of looked up the energies behind this new moon, and it's the second new moon that'll be in Cancer season. So it's back to back, two new moons back to back in Cancer. And I was looking at the energies behind it, and you guys, it's so freaking crazy to me, the readings that I choose to do based on the energy of the day and the messages that come out. So like with this new moon in Cancer, it's the second one back to back on July 20th. This is literally about a second chance to release karmic cycles in our life. That's the entire energy behind this full moon. This is amazing to me because as I was reading about it, I'm like, wow, this sounds really similar to the reading that I did yesterday. Not only about alchemizing darkness to light, but also emotional manipulation, or like karmic cycles that we get stuck in, right? Based on events or trauma that we experienced, in our childhood or just growing up. And these inner wounds that need to be healed, and if they're not dealt with, we get, and we're not aware of them, we get stuck in these crazy karmic cycles of like relationships that have to deal with emotional manipulation. This new moon is going to be really powerful just because it's the second one in Cancer back to back. It's kind of in between that crazy full moon eclipse that we had on July 4th, 5th. That was in Cancer, but in Capricorn, which is like all those devil energies, those codependent behaviors. And so the full moon is in Leo season on August 3rd. It'll be in Aquarius. That moon is going to be about healing, okay? Which I kind of gathered from my reading yesterday when the star card popped up, and I was talking about the star and the full moon, the star card representing Aquarius, and like the full moon that was going to be on August 3rd. But this is like preparing for that, okay? The new moon on July 20th is like preparing for that. And it's so crazy to me how I just, these energies come, and then I do the readings, and then like if I go to look up something later, I'll read something and it all makes sense. It all ties together. It's so fascinating to me how that works. But anyway, so yeah, Cancer season has to do with like all of our relationships with our family, our friends, our love life, that work-life balance, all those like comfort things in our life that are like really the most meaningful to us in terms of our like home life, or like our work-life balance. In this new moon, Saturn is going to be directly opposing the new moon, okay? And right now, Saturn is retrograde in Capricorn, those devil energies. So you may be feeling like pulled back to those karmic cycles, right? These are the tests that I was talking about. I get it now. These are those tests, because Saturn is retrograde in Capricorn, and it'll be directly opposing the new moon on July 20th in Cancer. So it has to do with all of like our home relationships, okay? Like our most meaningful relationships. Saturn is the planet of karma, basically. So we're gonna be really, what's amazing about all of this happening right now, this is such a huge year astrologically. Like, if you don't believe me, please look it up. Like, the more that I read about it, the more it just ties into the messages, the downloads that I get, and the readings that I choose to do. It's like directly linked. I'm kind of doing it backwards. I just go by what downloads I get and what energy I'm feeling that day. But then I look it up, I'm like, oh wow. But yeah, if you don't believe me, like, look it up. This is a huge year astrologically. It's like literally setting the stage for the next 40 years of our life, this whole year of 2020, clear vision, right? So we're gonna really feel pulled back to go back into these karmic cycles. But we have to be cautious because it's setting the stage for the next 40 years. It's a long time, okay, in this lifetime. But what's awesome about this, with Judgment Day on July 4th, we were given an opportunity to be shown what's not serving us in our life anymore, okay? This is a second chance. It's the last one for this year, okay? This is our second chance to release those karmic cycles in our life for good. It's a reset, okay? Balancing masculine and feminine energies within yourself and therefore in your relationships is a huge part of it. It's how to do that. That's the key, how to do that. But this is basically a second opportunity to clear out those karmic cycles that will affect the next 40 years of our life. No pressure. I was feeling a lot of like sadness when I was tapping into the collective energy when I was doing this reading. For this reading, I was specifically wanted to do, I was going to do the full moon for August 3rd energies. But once I found this like sub article about the new moon, I knew this is what I had to do, because this is the energy that I've been feeling. I thought it was the upcoming new moon or full moon, but it's not. It's for this new moon that's on the 20th. There's a really big feeling of sadness in the collective right now. Like depression, regret, missed opportunities. This new moon in Cancer will give us a second chance to right these wrongs, okay? To repair these feelings, whatever's happened in our relationships due to karmic cycles. This is a second chance to repair that. I was reading about the energies behind the new moon, and it was describing how due to the burdens that these karmic cycles cause in our life, we're gonna feel like we're alone, like we're being left out in the cold, like our voice is not being heard. Basically a feeling of being powerless, okay? Like the world's against us. Like just when we take care of something, something else is thrown onto our plate that we have to deal with. That's what I mean when I say the world against us kind of thing. Just like, God, another thing to deal with. This new moon is giving us the opportunity to release that. Okay? Because those are based in karmic cycles. Whatever is holding... normally, New moons are about, and I was so confused. This is why I thought the energy that I was feeling was about the upcoming full moon, because normally new moons are about new beginnings, pursuing like passionate new starts and things like creative ventures. The energy that I was feeling was more about releasing. Okay, that's why I was like, oh yeah, that upcoming full moon on August 3rd, literally in my last reading, that last card right here was the star card. Okay, Aquarius, healing, releasing. And that's why I was like, I think this has to do with the full moon. But I looked it up, and then this new moon energy, this is one new moon in the history of, like, I don't know, as long as I've been aware of the energies of new moons versus full moons. This new moon in particular is not about creative ventures or new beginnings. This is the second opportunity, or second chance, another opportunity to release, like, final stage, guys, okay? To release these karmic burdens in our life that are no longer serving us. And that makes so much sense. This is not a typical astrological year. This is like craziness, okay? So this new moon in particular is not a typical new moon. It's not about starting those creative cycles or pursuing your passions. It's about releasing excess. It's about releasing burdens that are no longer serving us and we're hanging on to because of attachment. All these readings are like leading up to these, okay? All the readings that I've been doing have been like leading up to these energies. So, it's time to really evaluate what's holding us back. What's holding us back? Now is the time to work on releasing these things. Okay? It's a second chance to get these things right that were portrayed to us around the Judgment Day energies. And it all has to do with those Cancer energies, like family, close relationships with friends or in our love life, work-life balance, etc. And since Capricorn is involved, since Saturn is involved, it's in Capricorn, it has to do with karmic attachments. This is literally like the basis of all of that, those devil energies that bind us through attachment and addictive behaviors. And it doesn't have to be about substances, guys. It's about feelings too. It's about thought patterns. It's about being addicted to our pain. Attachments. Okay? Not connection. So the first card out on the table, and this is the image that I had in my head when I was shuffling. It's all those burdens, and this has been a repeating theme in a lot of the readings I've been doing lately. The 10 of Wands. It's max burdens possible. This last time I tapped into the collective energies, I felt this 5 of Cups, sadness, depression, regret. Okay? Not paying attention to the good things in our life, but basically crying over spilled milk. But before that, if you look at the post-eclipse energies, I got a lot of pain in my back when I was tapping into the collective energy. Look at how much burdens we carry that we don't have to. That's a lot, okay? This is our second chance. This new moon is about releasing those. Normally, new moons are about, pursuing your passions, new starts. And full moons are about releasing, transitioning, transformation. That's not the case for this new moon on July 20th in Cancer. So, yeah, releasing your burdens to be able to move forward, heal it. Because now I understand. Now that I know that, you know, what's the energy of this new moon, and then we're gonna have the full moon in Leo season in Aquarius on August 3rd is about healing. It's about healing from the releasement of these. It's not easy. It's gonna cause some pain because it's like breaking away from these cycles, right? It's not easy. That's transition. That's change. It's hard. It's hard. So we're going to have to heal from this. But these are not our burdens to bear. This is our second chance, our last chance, astrologically this year, to release these karmic cycles that are causing this within ourselves and around us. Look at this, guys. The Lovers, Gemini, okay? It's about a choice in regards to love. But it's also utilizing both aspects of, like, both polar ends of the spectrum to create balance, okay? So this can be, you know, representative of having to make a choice in regards to, you know, people that you love. It doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship. It can be, but, you know, it can just be about people that we care about. Are they causing more of this in our life because it's a karmic cycle? This is really a time to you know, balance those two ends of the spectrum to make a decision. And that came up in alchemizing darkness to light as well. Choices. This was a repeating theme in the last couple of my readings, okay? And that's what this is about, this second new moon in Cancer this year, which is very rare, and it's not a typical new moon. It's about making the choice to either hang on to these from karmic cycles, these burdens, or to release them. Okay? And it does require some awareness. It requires awareness, both inner awareness and awareness of what's actually going on around us. What are people's intentions towards you? What are people's intentions towards you? Does it make them happy to see me thrive? Okay. Knight of Wands came out, which is about energetic determination in regards to your passions. What sets your world on fire? What gives you motivation to take action? These are the things that we need to pursue and not be stagnant. See how the wand has some new growth on it? This is a time of major growth for people if you're willing to have some self-awareness and look at the things that are causing this all these burdens in your life, and making a choice to release those that are stagnant. In other words, how many dead plants are you watering? Think of how much energy and abundance in your life, like how much energy you're expending and how much like true abundance is being blocked in your life because we're hanging on to these karmic cycles because of attachment and fear. What's going to help us grow? Stop watering dead plants, you guys. Okay? There are some plants that no matter how much you water them, give them sunlight, put fertilizer, whatever the case, you know, talk sweetly to them, no matter what, they're not gonna, you know, they're restricting growth, these things in our life. Okay, it's time to stop watering the dead plants. That was the message that came in my head when I saw this card. And then, so something funny happened. So not only is this new moon about releasing all these burdens, right, from karmic cycles, when I was shuffling after I got these first 3 cards that I just discussed, a whole stack fell out. And normally I put them back, I'm like, oh, that's too many. As I picked it up, it was the exact storyline, okay, that I have been discussing for weeks now. And that was confirmed when I looked up the energies of the full moon that will be in Aquarius, but then I saw the new moon article and I was reading about it. It's literally this, okay? And this is the exact order. When I picked it up, I put each one, I'm gonna start recording my shuffling because you guys, weird shit happens when I'm doing this with the cards, okay? So yeah, this whole stack came out. I was about to put it back, but then I saw what cards they were, and as I'm like, oh, actually this is like the energy that I've been experiencing, and as I'm laying it out one by one, it goes fluidly through the whole thing I just explained to you before discussing these cards. Like, you can't make this stuff up, you guys. I don't have time to sit around and make up these readings, okay? I'm a single mom of 2 teenage daughters. I have an awesome but really stressful career. I am getting my PhD online, and I work out every day lifting weights. I don't have time to make up readings, okay? I do this in my spare time. Let that sink in for a second. That's how important this is to me. I do this in my spare time. What little spare time I have. Okay, so the next card that came out is that 5 of Cups energy. 3 are spilled over, right? But there's 2 full cups behind this guy, but he's like crying over these spilled ones. Depression, regret, sadness, missed opportunities because you're not being aware of the situation. The choice, you have a choice. This was the main message of that reading that I did yesterday, alchemizing darkness to light. This is the point of this new moon. I had no idea until today. Releasing all those burdens. This is burdensome to live like this, you guys. This is living in the past. Okay? Take the lesson, not the L. This guy's taking the L hard. So what is this new moon gonna do? Because this is the moon card that literally came out next. This is about transformation. Just like the moon goes through phases, humans do as well. This is about things being illuminated to us. This is about releasing our fear, using our intuition. I don't know about you guys, but this is a hard life right here. This 10 of Wands and 5 of Cups energy. That's not fun. Look at that, okay? We're gonna feel like this around this time of the new moon, but it's really gonna show us. This is our second chance, remember? This is really gonna show us how many dead plants do we need to stop watering? What do we want to release so that we can make room for in our life going forward? Okay? Oftentimes, and it's about releasing what's holding us back, and oftentimes that is fear. What if I fail? What if I don't do the right thing? What if I'm not good enough? What if I don't know. You guys kind of know your internal talk, okay? All those internal fears it's an illusion. The moon is also about illusions. Fear is an illusion, all right? Just like this 5 of Cups energy, it's an illusion, okay? And the next card that came out was Ace of Swords. How many times has this card come out recently in my collective readings? Truth. Standing in your power. We have a second chance here, you guys, with this new moon. Things are going to be shown to us, or probably already have been. But are we going to accept it? See how he's kind of grabbing the sword? Are we going to accept it? Acceptance is a huge part of releasing your burdens, right? Because if we don't accept what has happened in the past, it makes it really hard to go forward, because those things keep coming up in our relationships, those cycles. If you don't heal it, it's going to just show up in the next relationship, okay? Until we learn the lesson and can grow. But we have to stop watering those dead plants. Stand in your power, guys. Okay? If you don't know what I mean by that, I did a reading on how to do that. And the reading that I did yesterday, Alchemizing Darkness to Light, is about this. It requires truth. Okay? And so if you haven't already been shown, okay, what things are serving in your life and what are not, it's coming. It's the energy. It's not going to be like a specific time or date. It's like just around everyone's going to be a little bit different. I tend to experience the energy in my collective a little bit before they do, which is why I've had these. So like, what's today? I think the 20th is in a couple days, right? So, it was tomorrow. Wow. Okay. So I started feeling this energy like maybe 3 days ago or so. So I'm not that far ahead, okay? But it does give me a little bit of a heads up so that I can let you guys know what's going on if you're feeling these shifts. So the recommendation with this new moon, see how this reading transitioned from like what we're going to be feeling, and then after this new moon, what to expect, right? Truth. Stand in your power. How do you do that? By maintaining your healthy boundaries, balancing those masculine and feminine energies within yourself so that we don't have distorted masculine or feminine energies within ourselves, okay? The Emperor maintains his boundaries. He's a leader. He's strong. He knows what's right for his people, so to speak. If something's not right, he's going to say it. He's all about, maintaining your healthy boundaries, but also, just based on the readings that I've been doing that have been leading up to here, I know that what the message is also saying is, balancing those masculine and feminine energies within yourself so that we don't have distorted masculine and feminine energies. We can stand in our power. That's how we stand in our power. Okay? In our truth. That will make, so Wheel of Fortune, if we do this, right, stand in our power and maintain our healthy boundaries, okay, all of the karmic cycles in our life are going to fall away. The people who do not have our best interest at heart and who it does not make them happy to see us thrive, all of that's going to come to a screeching halt. Once we do this, stand in our power, stand in our truth, maintain our healthy boundaries without distorted masculine and feminine energies, okay? By learning from the past and releasing those burdens from the past, stop watering dead plants, you'll see who falls away and who stays. You will know. There will be no question about it. It's happening, guys. Okay? Or you can choose to stay on the wheel. I can tell you, this carousel of karma is not fun. If we start these cycles again, it's literally like, just like I said yesterday, it's like driving 90 miles an hour into a brick wall. That's how the cycles are going to keep going for the next 40 years based on those attachments, instead of connection. All right? And then this is followed by the Four of Swords. So there's going to be some tower moments after this, right? The Wheel of Fortune, those karmic cycles, there's going to be some tower moments because you're going to see. It's going to be really obvious to you who doesn't want to see you thrive. And that's going to require a lot of rest and reflection and reevaluation. Look at that reading from yesterday, guys. Elephant spirit was clarified by Four of Swords, and I was literally talking about those tower moments. And the tower card wasn't even out on the table yesterday, and it's not today. But this is what it's gonna cause. This was gonna cause those towers in our life, those tower moments. The Wheel of Fortune, because we're gonna see, it's gonna be very apparent to us who wants to see us thrive and who doesn't. And then we're gonna be, we're gonna have to go within and rebalance, reevaluate, and reflect, and heal. Okay? If we don't and we choose to stay on the carousel of karma, that's just gonna keep happening, guys. These burdens and these 5 of Cups and 10 of Wands energy, that's gonna keep repeating. But if we're able to get off the carousel, okay? Get off the carousel. Rest, reflect, reevaluate, rebalance. This is what's next. Queen of Pentacles. She was also in my reading yesterday, just before the Star card. Stability, abundance. It's the closest thing to the Empress card, especially when it's coupled with the Nine of Cups, which is your highest self. This is your highest self version. Solid AF right here. This is the outcome if we decide to get off the carousel of karma and release our attachments and start basing our relationships in connection. This, not 10 of Wands, 5 of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, 9 of Cups. I definitely know what I prefer. Stability, abundance, and highest self energy. All we have to do is stand in our truth and in our power and maintain our healthy boundaries. I know it sounds easy when I say it like that, but I'm just trying to simplify it as much as possible. This is the step. And we can utilize the energies from what's happening astrologically to make this happen, you guys. It's here waiting for us. This is our second chance, okay? With this new moon. It's all about releasing what's not serving. So overall energy at the bottom of the deck, 3 of Wands. What is stopping you from your future? Remember how I was saying normally new moons are about new beginnings, right? Since this is the second one in Cancer back to back this year, which is very rare, it's about releasing what's blocking you from your future that you want, that you envision for yourself, based on your Queen of Pentacles, 9 of Cups energy, stability, abundance, and highest self energy. It's about releasing what's causing a holdup on our journey. Okay? 3 of Wands is about planning and strategizing, but also waiting for your ships to come in. It's like a pause in the journey. You've gotten to this point, and now you're waiting for the other part of the journey. But there's a delay, like, not really a delay, it's just you're waiting, you're kind of planning the next steps, okay? But it requires releasing in order to continue on your path. See how he's like right before this path, but there is a barrier. He's really high and the path is like lower. There's like an obstacle to continuing on his path, and he's kind of evaluating, like, how can I get there? whatever's blocking us and leaving us right here in this energy, it's time to, it's probably already been shown to us, but it's time, this is our second chance to release it. If we don't, most likely, these cycles are going to continue the next 40 years. Okay, and the oracle card that came out was Ghostlands. This came out the other day too, in connecting the dots, or whatever, that triggers one. And it all makes sense now, why I've been getting all these downloads. This is about not being able to live in the present because we're stuck in the past or our heads in the future. There's see how empty it is? There's no one there. Our mind is not in the present, right? Our mind is not in the present. There's, like, it's frozen. What we think about when we're thinking about, oh God, this happened in the past, this 5 of Cups energy, thinking about what went wrong, there's nothing there. It's a waste of our mental energy, but also thinking about the future. The future hasn't happened yet, guys. This is about a reminder to be in the present. Okay? And that ties into yesterday's reading too. Remember the lessons from the past, but that's it. That's all that we need to do about stuff that's happened in the past. Take the lesson. There's nothing else there besides that. Everything else is a waste of mental energy. That directly ties into the reading from yesterday. And look what's at the overall energy of at the bottom of the deck of the Oracle deck. The Bone Collector. Number 1. We're paving the path for the next part of our journey. There's some type of barrier that we need to release. This is about being your most authentic self. Look at what do the ancestors have to say. That reading, this was also at the overall energies at the bottom of the deck. This is about standing in your truth, being who you are at your core, before all that stuff that we experience in life caused us to develop these codependent behaviors. Because we got addicted to our pain. We are addicted to the patterns that we developed to cope with our pain. That's not us. Those are coping mechanisms, those codependent attachments. This is cutting through all of that. Okay? Cutting through all of that. Standing in your truth, standing in your power. This is the message, guys. Cutting away things that are preventing us from having abundance and true stability in our life, in our highest self energy. This all the readings are connected. Like, it's so amazing to me. And it's all based on the astrological events and energy that I've been picking up on in the readings that I choose, and even the cards that I choose to use. It's all for a reason, you guys. Okay? So, yeah, releasing those attachments to codependent behaviors. This is our second chance, our last chance, to step off that carousel of karma. Okay? So it's pretty heavy stuff, but it makes sense, right? Makes sense. So yeah, we'll see how tomorrow goes, and just I will do a reading too on the full moon for August 3rd. That's in Leo season, but in Aquarius, because that's going to be the next step, is healing from all of this. Okay. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll talk to you next time.